going on YouTube? It's your boy Royal King Brian, aka Brian, and you are now back watching another live stream video. So this is our third guest on the Leave a Legacy show. I'm super excited. You already know how we do it here. We're gonna ask some fire questions. We got a fire guest, and I'm super excited. I know this person for basically my entire life, and I am so happy to be talking to them. I have seen their growth, I have seen their journey, I have seen their progress, and they have been inspiring me, and they're younger than me, to keep going harder every single day. So I hope in this conversation, in this show, you can see the passion that she got, the desire that she got, the energy that she's bringing, my family, Josmary. What's going on?
Oh, what an introduction there.
How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great, great. Glad to have you on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. I truly appreciate it.
Of course. It's been so long, and I'm so happy we get to catch up with everybody else. So let's get right into it. Who are you? Because I know who you are. Who are you? Where are you from? And what do you do?
So first off, my name is Josmary. I am 27 years old. I currently live in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm originally from New York.
New York.
So of course, you know, all the love. So I'm originally from New York. I've been in Charlotte, I want to say pretty much, almost all my life, I want to say. I've always traveled back and forth, of course, with family and all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, I do consider myself a Charlenian, you know, overall. I'm super thankful that this is the state that I came at such a young age, because this state here, you know, starting where this place had nothing, you know, what they used to call a campo, you know what I mean? Everybody would think of Charlotte, they were like, oh yeah, you're going out there in the country. But I've seen the city completely built from the bottom up, and it's allowed me, you know, to go ahead and add growth to it. So I'm super thankful for that. But aside from that, just as yourself, I am an entrepreneur. I have entered this lifestyle, which I'll call it a lifestyle. I want to say about 2 years ago, but the desire has been there for a while. So we'll definitely get into that more in depth.
So yeah, when I remember when you first had moved to North Carolina, I was like, why are they moving there? Like, there's nothing there.
Oh my God.
And now it's like a lot of people are moving there, especially.
We're definitely on the maps. We're definitely on the maps. And I remember when I would go back home and I was with my family, I was with my girls, you know, my cousins, and I used to cry. And tell my mom, like, why'd you do this to us? Like, why'd you take us away? Like, you know, like I felt like she was such an evil person. But God, am I grateful for this opportunity to, like, you know, having her just relocate us. Why? Because I don't think I would be who I am today if it wasn't for that.
That's awesome. That is great to hear. That's like taking chances, taking risks, and there's hidden opportunities in taking chances, and we're going to talk all about that. So this opportunity that you have been presented yourself to become an entrepreneur, where did that come from? Where did it start? And what is it that you used to do before?
So let's just go start off with what I used to do before. As I was younger, I always imagined myself, I wanted to be an ultrasound tech. And I wanted to go into gynecology. So I always wanted to be in the medical field. And, you know, life just takes you through paths and roller coasters, and you come to realize, like, you know what, I no longer have a passion for this. And I'm a very passionate person. So everything that I do it, you know, out of the kindness of my heart, but it's just true passion. And if I don't feel it, then I don't move forward from it. And when I want to say around 2017 was when I kind of discovered pretty much just the real estate world. I got into leasing, and I've done it for around 4 years. And I decided to give it all up. Something I was very passionate about, because there was something at the end of that tunnel that was just like calling for me. And it was entrepreneurship. And I have to say, when it comes to, like, you know, where the seed was planted, before, while I was doing leasing, you know, I actually used to work in the nightlife. It was an opportunity, very small business, of course. It was actually from my previous partner and his business partner that they started off. And, I, of course, like my family, they have family businesses. So like we've been around entrepreneurship all of our lives. But at the same time, I've never seen one start from the seed and see the water
Right.
process and see it, being like, see the growth and being able to see it like bloom.
Yeah.
And they allowed me to be a part of that. And as I was still in the leasing world, and I was doing that on the side, and seeing their that vision just come to life, that really it was a big staple in my life. Why? Because I was able to go ahead and witness that you are able to dream, you are able to have that vision, and you're able to go ahead and make it vivid, and feel it. And that's when I have to say, we have to pretty much give credit when it's due. They actually planted that seed for me. I decided to go ahead and let go of that business because I was a part of it. And when I let it go, it just felt like there was something missing, and for me it was just kind of like, oh, like how can I fill this void,
So right there, that's a great point. A lot of people get stuck at a job that they used to like, and then they don't like it anymore. But they've been doing it for so long, and they're scared of taking that risk of the unknown. So how was that feeling? Like, what's that feeling like of like, hey, I've been doing leasing and it's been going great, and I'm about to jump into this unknown. I don't know how is it going to go. How is that feeling?
It's a huge tightness in your chest. Like if anybody has had an anxiety attack, they that feeling, that tightness you get in your chest, that's how it feels. But I have to say, if you're uncomfortable, like you have to literally be uncomfortable to get comfortable. And for me, there was just so much. What ifs? What if I just stay here? What if I take the leap? That I just kind of went ahead and just took pretty much a chance on me. I bet it on myself, and I was like, well, you have control over this. So it's not going to work if you don't work. And that's what people fail to see when they join a business or, any type of MLM businesses or anything like that. They think like, oh, well, the business doesn't work. No, it's you have to put in the work for it to work,
Yeah.
So I learned that. And that's why I feel that, I've been to achieve so much in the business that I'm in right now, simply because of that, when I realized that.
Yeah. So taking that leap of faith, right? So like the same thing happened to me when I was in New York. I was doing my business. I started my business. I was building it from the ground up. It was going well, but I knew that there was something more missing, and I felt like I had to take a huge chance, like you did on yourself, on myself. And moving to California for me was that like big leap. Like I don't have no family here. I don't really have friends here. I don't have anybody here, but I have this feeling in my heart that I was like, if I go over there, things is gonna excel. So you taking that leap of faith from like your leasing project to starting becoming your own boss, because
Absolutely.
becoming your own boss is very hard. People always see the finished product, but they don't see what goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And I have witnessed it firsthand. Like I have seen everything that you have been doing. Even if we don't communicate, I'm just like, she's busy. I'm gonna let her do her thing. We're gonna link up whenever is the right time. So
Yeah.
what do you think? What besides fear, do you think anything else stops people from taking the lead?
Um, our society, overall, we've been taught to look for jobs and not opportunities. So our societies plays a big factor to why we don't do, things, what people are going to think, what's the expectations. And I had to learn with just experiences in my life that, I'm not here to go ahead and exceed anybody's expectations of what they think my life should look like, or, the things that I should do. I am pretty much just here to go ahead and make sure that I'm good, that I succeed, that I'm able to go ahead and accomplish and feel fulfilled. That's a lot of people lack to bet on themselves, because they're like, what are others going to think? That's not, we haven't been taught to do this. We haven't been taught to go ahead and take fear before safety. We've always been taught to stay in comfort. You don't want to go ahead and get too deep in the water because you don't know if you're going to drown. You won't drown if you learn how to swim, right? So
Exactly. Yeah. So do you remember that first feeling when you started becoming an entrepreneur, saying, hey, I'm going to become this entrepreneur? And what was that like first spark that made you think I actually could do this? Because in the beginning, you have that confidence, I'm going to do it. And then reality hits and it's like, can I actually do it? So what was that first spark that you were like, yes, I got this. Like, I know I could do it.
Then again, I related it back to these guys who actually inspired me, and I saw it firsthand that it's possible, right? But I also knew that I had nothing to lose. I had absolutely nothing to lose. It took me a while though, because I lasted about a year, holding on to my leasing job and working my business. I just brought this another stream of income before I actually let it go, because that was my safety. I had to go ahead and make sure that I had one foot in, one foot out.
Yeah.
But as time would go on, and the things that I was learning, I was able to go ahead and realize that I'm like, there's really nothing to fear. You got this. Like, this is all on you. And that's a tough cookie to swallow, because a lot of people, when it's like you were saying, being your own boss is just as hard as working for somebody else. Okay. The discipline, the consistency, like, that's all on you. The motivation, that's all on you. There's no one here to tap you on the shoulder and to tell you like, hey, micromanage you and say, you got to get to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just as hard.
Yeah, personally, I always tell people I find it to be harder.
Oh, yeah.
When you're at a job, they print your schedule. They tell you when you're on break, when you're not on break, when you clock out, and you don't have to worry about work no more. When you're an entrepreneur, we were talking earlier. We were supposed to do this earlier.
What?
And Josmary was busy. She was like, I'm working right now, and today's Sunday. So
yes,
she's constantly working all the time. But it's not a bad work. Like, it's a sense of fulfillment because, well, you're able to bet on yourself and see results, right?
Yeah. And I think, when it comes to entrepreneurship, you're on your own time. It's really tough to have a schedule. I'll tell you this, like you said, like this, we were supposed to go live a lot earlier today. And I was like, look, I have an opportunity to go ahead and speak to a potential, and we have to go ahead and take advantage of this. Things change in a blink of an eye, but I have the flexibility to do so. To have the flexibility to go ahead and be able to say, I'm going to go ahead and take care of this now because the opportunity presented itself. And guys, when I tell you, when an opportunity presents itself, like, you run with that. You go ahead and take it. Don't allow absolutely anything stop you from, moving forward and grabbing that. And that's what we did. I was just like, all right, so when can we go ahead and make this happen? Because we're going to make this happen, but we got to handle this first.
Yes, definitely. So in 2020, which was a couple of months ago, everybody knows the thing that happened. I noticed a rise in entrepreneurship. And I noticed your business grew best in 2020. Yeah, it flourished. So what do you think that caused people to say, you know what, maybe this job is not as secure as I thought. Maybe this job is not worth the hours that I'm putting in, and start doing entrepreneurship and start doing MLMs and start doing all these other type of businesses. What do you think was that switch?
I have to say, when that happened, a lot of people, they were, between a rock and a really hard place, overall. And they couldn't, when they looked around, they didn't see anybody. It's just me. I have to figure this out. I have a family, or I have bills to go ahead and attend to. And they just looked at it like, what, I don't care if I'm scrubbing toilets today. Like, I'm going to make this happen. And when they realized that they have pretty much what's the word? They have the power in their hands that is like, guys, like, you don't have to wait for somebody to call the shots for you to go ahead and make something happen. You can do it yourself. And I feel like that's what a lot of people felt. And they were just kind of like, all right, how am I going to go ahead and make this work? They saw opportunities as the only way out, like MLMs, other entrepreneurships, as the only way out. They're like, I have to wing it. They had nothing to lose. They lost a job, a lot of people lost their homes. So they pretty much is better than themselves.
Yeah, that's great. I was in the same situation. I ended up working 2 jobs, eventually starting my business. I was working 1 job and starting my business, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. January 1st of 2020 is when I quit my job. And I was like, I got this. I'm going to start the year off amazing. And then 3 months later, the thing happened. And I was like, whoa. And then everybody's like, man, just go find something else. You're not safe in what you do. You don't know how much money you're gonna make. We don't know what's gonna happen with this situation. But I always tell people, look for the positives. Like, what opportunities, like you said, can present itself. And I noticed there's still a lot of people now in 2021 still looking for those opportunities. Yeah. So what would you say to somebody that is currently like still 1 foot in, 1 foot out? What would you say to somebody that wants to pursue it and doesn't know exactly how to get in the door yet?
I think mentorship is huge when it comes to this. I feel like a lot of people don't tend to take the leap unless they see somebody who has done it. And there's many people out there. Look at you and I. I think it's just being educated in what they're wanting to do, and make sure that they understand that the fear is not going anywhere. The fear is not going anywhere, but at the same time, once you're able to go ahead and just find a balance between what you've been doing and introducing this opportunity in, it becomes a part of you. It's like a seamless transition, as it was for me. At the same time, when I went ahead and decided that I was going to go ahead and go into this full time, I was completely blindsided to what this opportunity could be. But at the same time, it took me to think that it just.
Oh no, guys, we have lost connection with Josmary. I'm not sure what happened, but we'll get her back on. We will get her back on. Let's see where she at. Let's see where she goes. Whenever she comes back on, we will be going back. So we do have some comments. I see interesting conversation. I see it says thanks. Let me see if I can get her back in. So let me get you guys a quick commercial break. She's back, y'all. She's back. Not sure what happened.
I was like, what happened?
But we went on commercial break. It's good. Everybody got their sips of water, cups of water, coffee, and all that. So we're good. We're back. We're back.
For a second, the whole screen went away. I was just like, no, bro, this cannot be happening right now.
Yeah. So we were talking about taking that leap of faith, seeing the opportunity.
Yes. Sorry. Let's see.
Yeah. No worries.
Perfect. All right. Remind me of the question, because this just came left.
Yeah, it just went out. It just went crazy. But we make it happen. So this is a good example. I'm gonna take this opportunity to say how entrepreneurship works. Stuff just goes left, and you have to figure it out, right? And a lot of people can see that as a bad thing, but I find it fun because you're not doing something repetitively every single day. I know my least favorite part of my job when I was working a job is that it was so repetitive. It was fun the first 3 weeks, but after 3 weeks, it was boring. I was having the same conversations with the same coworkers, not meeting new people, not expanding my knowledge. And now that I'm in entrepreneurship, like, these things is fun. Like, you left, you came back, we're figuring it out, we're keeping the conversation going. And can you speak just to that, like the power of meeting new people, the power of having different conversations, the power of networking? A lot of people don't understand that networking could get you in places that degrees can't even get you in.
That is a fact. That is a fact. I mean, I have to say that when it came to this opportunity, I thought, you know what, this is good money. You know what, this can change my lifestyle here and there. But I've always say that this opportunity has taught me so much more that if, it literally just disappears tomorrow, like, I'm able to go ahead and take everything that I've learned and I've absorbed, take it elsewhere, and I know that I can be successful, So I'm extremely thankful for that. So that's one positive factor that we have to look at when we do an opportunity like this.
Yeah, one thing that I love about entrepreneurship, I'll say over school, is like active school. Because in school, you're taught to memorize things, and eventually after you memorize things, you're gonna forget. But in entrepreneurship, you're constantly moving and doing something. So it's like muscle memory.
Learning.
Yeah, you're constantly learning. It's muscle memory. So muscle memory stays with you way more than just like retaining an exact sentence or something like that.
Yeah.
So any advice that you would give to someone that wants to start today? You're like, hey, Josmary, I like the vibe that you bring in. I love your hair. I love the earrings, the necklace, everything. I want to get in contact with you. How can I reach you? What is it that you do that you can help me? How can you help me? What would you say to those people?
I mean, at the end of the day, when it comes to this, to the opportunity that I actually have to offer and to share, it is something that, it's a leap of faith, but for you, like, into you. Like you're investing into you, not into this business overall, because this is something that you get to build from the bottom up. I always say that anyone who decides to go ahead and join me this opportunity, I want fear. I want fear, and I want a strong enough why. So the moments that you feel that, like this isn't for me, like remind yourself why you wanted to start something like this. What was urging you to go ahead and have a change in your life? Those are two huge factors that I feel are needed for a business that I'm in. Just to kind of go ahead, do you want me to go ahead and explain to what is it that I do?
Yeah, go right ahead.
So I actually partner with a business that pretty much just hands me down a blueprint. Okay, a blueprint of the business, and I'm able to pretty much go ahead and take it and just execute it my own way. So I partner up with a company called Modern Nature. So it is something with hair care, skincare, and wellness. Nothing that I ever imagined myself, merging into. But when I was able to go ahead and, try the products and everything else, I just like, like I made an investment to myself. That was my very first investment. And it just, the way that it made me feel, it was, I unconsciously started to share that feeling. I was like, like I need to go ahead and like show you this, I need to go ahead and prove this to you. And that was my own testimony when that started. But that kind of tuned me into entrepreneurship, because I had an opportunity, instead of just using the products, I was able to go ahead and share them and allow others to do the same thing that I am. And I joined this business, and it's pretty much just a blueprint of it. And I'm able to go ahead and bring it onto my platform, make it my way. I'm able to go ahead and change lives, and literally change lives as I've changed minds. A year ago, I could not tell you yes to doing this. I could not tell you yes. I would be like, what? Like, do you want me to break out in hives? Like, nervous, But, I always tell them that, it doesn't just come like with a monetary benefit. It comes with a personal growth. I've never done that much personal development as I've done, and that's all thanks to this business, to the mentorship, to the people that we've gotten to network with. It just all goes hand in hand. So I always say fear is one, and overall that strong enough why. This is something that it's honestly for everyone. I mean, anyone can try this. Not everyone, succeeds, but why? Because some people tend to think that the business model doesn't work, but fail to realize that they're the ones that are not working.
I've noticed when it comes to entrepreneurship, not to cut you off, the people that come in with that, it's not going to work, it doesn't work. But if you come into that with your why, like I love that when you say like your why, and if you remind yourself of your why, even when it gets hard, it's going to work. Work. You might not know when it's going to click for you, but as you grow, as you mentor with people, as they teach you how to get better and better and better at things, it's just going to click and it's going to work. I just want to say shout out to the 6 people watching. Shout out to all the comments on the side. And yeah, so another question, what is your favorite part of being a boss? What is your favorite part of being self-employed and doing your own thing?
Having control of my time. I think that has to be it for me, simply because when I used to work a full-time job, I feel like I had to make something fit around my schedule. And, I've missed out on so many opportunities to go on trips, to, spend quality time with my family, just because I was so invested in my job overall. It's like, we work, our behinds off to go ahead and, receive a paycheck, but that paycheck never changed, so this is what I'm settling for. And I couldn't, I had something tough happen in my life, which was the passing of my father. And that's when I came to the realization that like time is the one thing we never get back. And, I remember driving to work when I received that phone call. And when I returned back to work and I was driving, on my normal shift after my dad's passing, I realized I'm like, what? Here I am going to go ahead and give my time away. And this time I could honestly be spending it with my loved ones, allowing myself to grieve with my father. I think I have 5 days of bereavement, and they're like, all right, it's time to get back to work. I'm like, I don't think you understand that I just lost a huge part of me. And, no one can tell you how much time it's going to take you to heal. I mean, this is something that takes a lifetime. But me having to go back to work and give my time in instead of, spending it with my family really took a toll on me. And that's when I decided, I was like, you know what, this is time. It's time for you to go ahead and make another investment into yourself and, just believe into the vision, believe in the process, trust the process, and do it. Just because I just knew that if I continued to do this, nothing was gonna change. Everything was gonna stay the same, and I didn't want to settle.
Yes, that is so facts. For me, it's the same thing. Time with my family, time with my loved one. In my head, I've always seen it as, I don't have a kid yet, right? So I don't have a kid, but I'm always in my head, I'm like,
Coming soon.
I could maybe I'll let you know. You'll definitely be on the invite for sure. So I don't have a kid yet, and one of the reasons why I don't have a kid yet is because I was like, I don't want to have a kid and have a job where I have to leave my kid behind. I wanted to be able to spend as much time with my kid when I do have my kid as possible. If I need to work, like right now, I run my own business. I'm in my own office. I could have my kid with me right here. I could be making income. I could be doing something that I love, helping people out while having my kid. If I had a job, I would have to leave. And to me, that just doesn't sit right. And the same thing with people passing or anything important to you. Your job's main thing is to help the job. It's not to help you.
Yeah.
So if somebody passes,
it doesn't benefit the business. Sorry.
Yeah.
And that's something that that was one of the biggest factors to why I wanted to go ahead and leave that behind. But if I wouldn't have said yes to this opportunity, scared, if I wouldn't have said yes to this opportunity and actually worked, then guess what? I would have just said, I have no choice. And I feel like that's what a lot of people feel, like, I don't have a choice. Thank God I landed this job, and this is what I have to continue to do to make a living. And they don't realize how many opportunities are out there that they can make that change. You just have to go ahead and be educated out there and be educated on what's out there overall.
Yeah, definitely. There are definitely opportunities. I really don't like when people say, I don't know anybody. I don't know who to go to. There's tons and tons and tons of people on every single platform that look just like you, just like me, doing the same exact thing or doing complete opposite things. But anything that you want to do can be done, especially now in 2021, 2020, stuff like that. So we're about to wrap up soon, but I also know, boss lady, you have your own company that you're starting or have started already. So how is that going? Is it an official launch?
So we have yet to go ahead and launch the site. So that's coming soon. What we have started was we've done pre-sales and we've been able to go ahead and sell, for local pickup. But I have to say that before I started my business, there was a word that actually I just related to. And that word was dale. And dale to us, I'm Dominican, but for us means go, right? And if you've heard the saying, no mires para atrás ni para coger impulso, dale. I was in a place in my life where I just that's what I would constantly tell myself. I was like, all right, sis, you got no choice. You got to go. You have to continue to push yourself. And that word resonated with me. So I always knew that I wanted to go ahead and start something of my own. And I got the opportunity to go ahead and start a line. So I did. And the first thing that I did was just start off with hats. And I mean, we're getting into a lot more that I never imagined myself, merging into, but simply because I decided to go ahead and give myself that shot, look at what it's turned out to be.
And that's the most important thing, because you took one step, one leap of faith, it led and opened the door to something else. And that's beautiful.
I'm no longer scared for another opportunity. Now I'm just kind of all right, where can I jump into next?
That is awesome. I love it. So right now, we're about to ask you some random questions. And then, of course, we're going to have you back for part 2 of this interview. And we're going to be focusing on your dale stuff. And I'm going to definitely need something. I already seen some fire. So I'm going to definitely
there's more coming too. There's more coming.
Okay.
Yeah. So. And just to kind of just shine some clarity, dale is actually the original merchandise, but the company itself is actually called Stitched. And I feel like this was just the missing puzzle to me and to my business. To my other business. So I pretty much just stitched them together.
I love it.
That's where the name also came from.
I love it, love it, love it. And I'm about to get all your social medias and everything right before we leave. So everybody can follow you and hit you up. And I'm gonna put all that stuff in the bio. But let's get into these random questions, and they're completely random. Okay. So you ready?
Let's go. Right. I'm ready.
Cats or dogs?
I'm sorry?
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
North Carolina or New York?
North Carolina.
Ooh, I wasn't expecting
that.
Straight hair or curly hair?
Why not both? Best of both worlds. Why not both?
Beautiful. Beach or pool?
I have to say beach.
If you can go to any place in the world and you're stuck there, where would it be?
Oh, I've never been, but I would want to say Bali, just from the things that I've heard and just from visuals.
Nice. If you can live anywhere in the world besides North Carolina, where would it be? Miami. Okay, Miami.
Oh, sorry. In the world or in the U.S.?
In the U.S. In the U.S.
Okay, Miami.
And the most important question, the last one, are you subscribed to my channel yet?
Absolutely.
Of course you are. So thank you so much for being on here. I had so much fun having you. I cannot wait to have you again. Of course, you're welcome anytime, whenever you need any shine, any love, anything, just hit me up. I am here. You know, we're basically family.
Absolutely.
Is there any last words you want to leave with the people?
Guys, overall, just understand that, like we said it here, we're taught to look for jobs and not opportunities, and you have control to make that change. So make sure you go ahead and take that leap of faith. Whatever it is, just take it.
Okay, we got a lot of agreed, good advice. You're so right. Clapping hands. Thanks. Interesting conversation, comments. I appreciate everything. Leave all your social media. Leave all your social media right now and then send it to me. So I will put it in the bio so people could just click it.
Perfect. I'll go ahead and do that.
Bad. And what's your Instagram name?
It's at Josmary with 3 Y's. So it's at JOSMARYYY.
Awesome. I love having you. Can you do me one last favor before we go? Can you tell everybody to like, subscribe, and share with the world?
Like, subscribe, and share. Top 3.
Yes, y'all. Amazing. So that is our show for the Leave a Legacy show. Is episode number 3. I am so glad I had Josmary on here. She is awesome. She is amazing. Once again, I will be leaving all her information in the bio. And Josmary, thank you once again. It's your boy Royal King Brian, aka Brian. And thank you guys for watching another live video. Peace, y'all.